news your way. Join in on the conversation with MyFox Memphis on Twitter and Facebook. Your two-screen experience starts now.
Another fence jumper at the White House, and this time the president was inside 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Ernie Freeman. This is the second person in a month to hop the fence of the most famous address in politics. Fox 13 Washington correspondent Jacqueline Fell is in D.C. with more.
23-year-old Dominic Adesanya of Maryland didn't get far last night. Secret Service dogs were able to take him down, but it wasn't without a fight. In the video, you can see the suspect in white shorts. The canine team comes up on him. Last night's fence jumper was not armed. He could be in court as early as this afternoon. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Fox 13 News.
And folks, we started out with clear skies this morning. Slowly we got the clouds. It was certainly chilly this morning, but things are starting to warm up a little bit out there. Take a look at what we got live and local, one of our real-time stops. That's coming then. You can see those clouds up in the full Fox forecast.
All right, Adam, we have this developing story this morning. Someone shot a truck driver as he was driving along a busy Memphis highway. It happened along Bill Morris Parkway around 1:30 this morning, and Scott Mattis has more on the investigation.
Oh, good morning. Reporting here at Kirby and 385, and this all started several hours ago, right around 1:30 in the morning. This is an 18-wheeler driver. A truck driver was heading eastbound on 385, coming up to Ridgeway, and that's when, at the very least, one shot was fired from somewhere by someone. MPD, well, they don't know who that person is. Well, the driver of that truck, a 31-year-old man, well, he was shot in the arm. He pulled his truck over on 385, right very close to where I am right now at Kirby and 385. He called 911. Emergency crews responded, transported him to Regional 1 Medical Center in non-critical condition. Again, with at the very least one gunshot wound to his arm. And now MPD investigators telling Fox 13 News that the victim himself, well, he doesn't know where the bullet came from or who shot him. But of course, somebody out there, well, they know. So if you are one of those people, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers. They're number 528-CASH. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this story for you. So as always, please stay with us. For now, reporting at Kirby and 385, Scott Mattis, Fox 13 News.
All right, Scott, and this morning, a third arrest in that mob beatdown at a South Memphis apartment complex. And one of the suspects is going to be in court today. It happened outside the Warren Park apartment complex. Here's the video. The victim says that she was hit from behind and her and her infant son fell to the ground. 35-year-old Lakeisha Thacker is charged with 2 counts of aggravated riot, 2 counts of assault. She was scheduled to be in court today. Police have previously arrested 35-year-old Melanie Tenort and 23-year-old LaPacia Thomas on similar charges. Local politics now. Next month, Shelby County employees going to go through open enrollment for health insurance. They're not sure what it's going to look like just yet. That's because the County Commission Committee sent a recommendation down to the commission or up to the commission. This proposal would save $11 million for the county, but the employees would have to pay more for insurance. Public employees would have to cover that shortfall as the county comes into full compliance with the Affordable Care Act. Now, the plan has met with some skepticism from several county commissioners who just got this thing 9 days before the open enrollment period starts.
Now, I have a problem when I don't have time and people are asking me to make a decision that's going to impact so many people, and it's just being thrown on me, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, they have the final say on what the plan's going to look like. Shelby County Mayor Mark Luttrell's office said they're going to take a look at some alternatives for the health insurance plan. One of the possible alternatives, a $100 surcharge for the spouses of people who work for the county. They say that could save the county $1.5 million or so. No mas. Nearly 200 Hispanic people targeted by a Memphis court clerk. This is what police say. And Latino Memphis says this is a clear case of racial profiling. And the group says that if Tammy Carpenter thought that Hispanics in town would make easy victims, she thought wrong. Carpenter indicted Wednesday on federal charges of embezzlement. The feds say she targeted Hispanics and took $24,000 in money that was supposed to go for traffic tickets and fines. Mauricio Calvo is the executive director of Latino Memphis, and he contends the woman thought that Hispanic victims would not ask for receipts or be smart enough to complain if they noticed something was wrong. One of her victims did finally notice and spoke up, and that's how this investigation started.
I think it sends a clear message. Do not profile, do not commit crime, and do not underestimate the power of the Hispanic community.
If convicted, Carpenter faces up to 10 years in federal prison and a fine of up to $250,000. I love St. Jude. How about this? That's the message behind a big fundraiser for the hospital that's happening today. And Trey Paul is live at Clear Channel Radio this morning. And Trey, you're going to tell us how folks can donate and help out this great cause?
It is such a great cause, Ernie, and it's as simple as dialing a 1-800 number. 1-800-411-9898. You call in within seconds, you give them your credit card number, and you can donate. $20 goes a long way. And think about it. Think about this. You're calling in, and you're essentially saving a life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're saving a life. Yeah. I mean, how would that make you feel today if you called in and you know, what'd you do today? You're talking to your wife or your husband, and I saved a life today. I called, I donated $20. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us. I want to talk a little bit about first with you, Pastor Bishop Michael Adrian Davis. How much have we...
Promotion comes from Trey.
How much have we raised so far?
So far, we are over $17,000. We're what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're about 5 hours in, so we're doing real well.
Doing well. You have until 7 o'clock tonight to call that number. I'm going to be giving it to you throughout this little bit we're doing right now. 1-800-411-9898. And I know, you hear people and they're asking you to give money all the time. It's always nice to put a face and put a story and kind of tell you why and how and where the money goes. We literally have a face to kind of to put with this. First Lady Sherry Mackey,
First Lady,
Sister
all right.
Sherry Mackey, tell us your story and tell us why people should do this.
Absolutely. I just met this little gorgeous thing right here. Her name is Lauren. She and her mom and her sister came in earlier. Now, Lauren was about 2 years old when she was diagnosed. She got diagnosed in Alabama. She lived in Alabama, went to the doctor. The mom finds out my child has a deadly disease and only had like a 30% chance of living. Well, guess what? They go to the doctor. They send her home and tell her, we want you to go to St. Jude. By the time she made it home, St. Jude was calling her. Y'all, without her having to spend a dime, they brought her into Memphis. She came in. She got treatment, not only for her daughter, her other daughter, Kennedy, was also being taken care of. And they showed her, what could be done. It was amazing. This little sweet thing. And now she was 2 years old here, 30% chance of living because of what we do at St. Jude, the work at St. Jude. She's 10 years old now. Adorable. She's absolutely adorable.
And because of what you do, because of dialing 1-800-911-4848 and giving you that $20.
1-800-411-9898.
You're saving a life. And I think that deserves, because we're getting ready to close out. The time is almost up, but I think that deserves a tambourine.
Whoa! Yes, sir. We are the world. We are the children. Hey, don't forget, man, you can make a difference. So call now. We're going to be here, of course, until 7 o'clock tomorrow. We're doing it over again. Trey Paul, man, thank you guys so much. And Fox 13 for coming out. We really appreciate you guys.
Love you guys so much.
And we want to thank Pastor Stephen Brown of Light of Glory International for hanging out with us here in the studio.
We need all the praise and prayer that we can get.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. 1-800-411-9898. Guys, back to you.
Canadians are still reeling after a shooting rampage at the country's parliament. I'm David Lee Miller in Ottawa. The details coming up.
World News Now, Canada's parliament back in session today. Yesterday, a gunman killed a soldier in what's being called a terrorist attack. Fox's David Lee Miller is in Ottawa with more.
A tribute this morning for the Canadian soldier killed in yesterday's shooting rampage. The ceremony held at the country's National War Memorial, where Corporal Nathan Cirillo was ceremoniously standing guard when he was murdered Wednesday morning. Reports indicate yesterday's shooter was planning to move to the Middle East, where Canada is taking part in the U.S.-led coalition battling ISIS in Iraq and Syria. In Ottawa, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
And folks, we started out with clear skies this morning. Now we're seeing some cloud cover. A little bit of the sun making it down to the surface here. Off to near 70 for Wednesday. To round out your 7-day forecast, Ernie.
All right, Ed, let's go across America now. 4 guards who worked for Blackwater Security were found guilty in the 2007 killings of more than 30 Iraqis in Baghdad. The men had been hired by the State Department to protect American diplomats in Iraq. In 2007, those men claimed militants opened fire on them, prompting them to shoot into a crowd of people. Witnesses denied those claims, and today a jury agreed the shooting was unnecessary. One of the men convicted of first-degree murder faces life in prison now. The others could face decades behind bars for charges that include voluntary manslaughter and gun violations. Well, protests in Ferguson, Missouri heat up after a new autopsy report is leaked. The St. Louis Dispatch says 18-year-old Michael Brown was killed at close range by Officer Darren Wilson, and there was a scuffle inside the patrol car. That report says Brown was not far away from the car with his hands up, as many witnesses claim. Last night, about 100 people marched to the Ferguson Police Department. They threw water bottles at officers and demanded Officer Wilson's arrest. Several people arrested last night. A grand jury still reviewing evidence in this case. That grand jury will decide if Wilson, the officer, is going to be charged in this case. Well, a man in Washington state pulls over a police officer and threatens to write him up. The man says that officer was breaking the law.
So you've admitted that you are in violation of Washington state law and that you are stopping people in this vehicle. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, I'm not going to write you up today. What I am going to encourage you to do is take this car back. I know you're smiling, but we the citizens do have a right to hold you guys accountable. If I'm in open violation of the law, I mean, I could call a sheriff out here and demand that you be written up for this, because you are in open.
Well, the man recorded the entire encounter with his mobile phone there, and he says that officer. Here's the deal. He says the officer was driving an unmarked car and making traffic stops. In Washington state, that's illegal. The officers have to be in a marked car. So the police chief, he praised the officer for being a good sport in this deal and says the officer was in fact in an unmarked car because the department got several new vehicles recently and they're waiting to get them all, get the graphics put on and stuff. So, wow.
And we're live at the Hard Rock Cafe, the new reinvented Hard Rock Cafe. And we've got Julie and Sally here. We're going to be taking a little tour. Are you excited?
Absolutely. Very excited.
People are going to be blown away, aren't they?
It's 4 days of everyone's mind being blown.
So we're getting ready to blow your mind coming up, so stay with us. We'll be back.
All right, some good news sparking a big celebration on Beale Street today. Hard Rock Cafe celebrating its grand reopening. Earl Farrell live downtown in the middle of the excitement. So, Earl, let me just be clear. Hard Rock Cafe changed addresses there on Beale, right?
Yeah, they slid on down Beale Street a little bit to the west from the old address, and now they're down in the old Lansky building, which was then turned into the Elvis Presley Club. Julie and Sally is here. And by the way, he has an Ernie Freeman spotting story. When the flood in Nashville, Ernie Freeman came up there, and he said he was peeking in the window of the Hard Rock to see if there's anybody in there.
Yes, sir.
He wanted a party. Even there was a flood.
No, they had sent me up to the Nashville Hard Rock following the guitar drop on Beale Street to give that city a drop, and we almost immediately got flooded. 3 feet of water we took on in our basement, and I look outside as we're kind of reclaiming everything, and there's Ernie Freeman. I'm like, Ernie, what are you doing here?
Looking for a party, man. Well, he could be invited tonight. We got you on the list, Ernie. Let's take a look at this incredible place. You've done just a fabulous job of rebranding this building. It's a Hard Rock Cafe, but it's the new look for Hard Rock Cafe.
Yes, sir. New design, new look for memorabilia. Every facet of the building, they're going wild over there. Every facet of the building is part of our new look.
And there's a representative with the Barcades over here. They're going to be here tonight. That big band start at what time?
It'll be red carpet carpet event at 6:15. 7 o'clock, we'll do the guitar smash. Of course, the Barkays will be smashing guitars along with your own
Joey Solpeck will be out here smashing guitars.
Yes, sir. And then right after that, we're going to do a special memorabilia reveal, and then we go right into the performance.
Well, all it goes on is really 4 days of celebrating, so come on out to the Hard Rock Cafe. Even if you can't get in, you want to be around on the streets because this is the party to be at tonight and through the weekend. Thank you, Julian. Earl Farrell live on Beale Street at the new Hard Rock Cafe.
All right, Starbucks is releasing its first new holiday beverage in 5 years, and coffee fanatics are going nuts over the new flavor. The Chestnut Praline Latte is going to make its debut across the U.S. in November. The new beverage said to be inspired by warm roasted chestnuts, freshly steamed milk, and flavors of caramelized nuts and spices. And like Starbucks pumpkin spice, which has no pumpkin in it at all, this new holiday drink will have no nuts in it at all. So, but I bet it'll be good. I remember when they came out with the pumpkin spice thing years ago. I was slurping that thing up every chance I got.
It is good.
This will be good.
I can't wait to try this one.
We got 30 seconds. Is this day going to be better than yesterday?
Probably not, because we got cloud cover.
Okay, so a little bit cooler.
A little bit cooler, but tomorrow will be terrific. Look at tomorrow, 74 with the sunshine. We warm it up over the weekend. It stays dry. I know they got the Susan G. Komen breast cancer walk on Saturday. They got the Block Party for Peace Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be nice for the weekend.
Good weekend for it. All right, Dish Nation is up next, and we'll see you at 5 o'clock tonight.